Hey everyone, I'm Bobby Sylvester of the FantasyPros Football Podcast, and today I've got my top 5 sleeper starts for Week 4 of the fantasy football season. These are players that you're not always comfortable starting, but this week they make a lot of sense with the matchups they're in. We'll start up at number 5, where I've got quarterback Matthew Stafford of the Detroit Lions. Before his fractured back last season, Matthew Stafford was a top 10 fantasy quarterback in 3 straight seasons. He appears to have picked that back up, as he already has 57 fantasy points through Week 3. And this week it should be even better, as he has quite literally the best possible matchup in the NFL versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and a game script to go with that could see him back into that top 10. At number 4, we'll stick with the Detroit Lions, where I've got tight end TJ Hawkinson. Both Marvin Jones and obviously Kenny Golladay are great plays too, but Kansas City was much worse against tight ends last year than they were against receivers. In fact, they were dead last in fantasy points allowed to the position. Hawkinson's been disappointing after his quick start in Week 1, but he's a safe play this weekend with plenty of upside as well. I initially had Terry McLaurin, wide receiver of Washington, at number 3, but now that he's dealing with a hamstring injury, I'm going to replace him with his teammate, Paul Richardson. McLaurin's been out of practice 2 days in a row now with a hamstring issue, so you can scoop up Paul Richardson off the waiver wire as a Week 4 streamer. He may not be a world beater, but he does get consistent targets, and that should only improve if McLaurin is out or limited. Most importantly, he has a cake matchup versus the New York Giants, which should make Richardson a solid wide receiver 3 this week. At number 2, we move on to running back, where I've got Adrian Peterson of Washington. As you can tell, picking on the New York Giants makes a lot of sense, and you know what? Last season, AP racked up over 1,000 yards on the ground, and most of that came in a handful of contests with a positive game script. He may get that kind of game script this weekend for the first time all season in a matchup versus the Giants. And if he does, expect 20 plus touches, which should go a long way versus one of the worst run defenses in all of football. Just like at number 3, where we removed Terry McLaurin, we're getting rid of number 1, Justin Jackson, because of an injury. He is out this week. So let's go to another running back. It's Kenyan Drake of the Miami Dolphins. I know what you're thinking. Miami's terrible. And it's true, but they finally turned the backfield over to Drake, who was a top 20 fantasy back last season when the Dolphins were also a crummy football team. He saw 15 touches last week, and while he didn't do much, it was against a strong Cowboys front 7. The Chargers aren't especially good against pass-catching backs, so you can feel good about using Drake as your Week 4 flex. Alright guys, that's all for my top 5 sleeper starts of Week 4. For more content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and let me know what you think about my picks. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your football.